What's going on, guys? My name is War27 and welcome to my first Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile, and I will be doing the Blue Eyes White Dragon deck profile, and this will be my personal deck profile. This is not the best Blue Eyes deck that it can be, but it's pretty good and I like it, so let's get started. Of course, you can't have a Blue Eyes deck without 3 copies of the Blue Eyes White Dragon. This card is amazing, legendary. You have to. If you don't have 3 Blue Eyes White Dragon in your deck, I don't know what you're doing with your lives. Next, we have 3 Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragons. This card is amazing. Pretty simple to summon out too. You just need to reveal 1 Blue Eyes in your hand, and voila, you get a Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon. And he's really good for removal. Once per turn, he can destroy one monster on your opponent's side of the field. But alternative can't attack the turn you activate this effect. But that's okay, because after you use this effect to pop a monster on your opponent's side of the field, you can always Exceed summon it with another Blue Eyes in the field, or you can synchro summon it. You can do so many other things with it. And so now we have Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon. 2 of these. We have 2 copies of Blue Eyes Chaos Max. This is probably one of the best cards in the deck, in my opinion, because he is pretty simple to tutor out with, Advanced Ritual Art or Chaos Form. You just ditch one of those to the grave, and then you get a Blue Eyes Chaos Max. It's that simple. He has 4,000 attack. He can't be targeted or destroyed by card effects, and he does double piercing damage. This guy is a menace. Then we have 3, the White Stone of Ancients. This card is really good. I only run two different types of level 1 light tuners in this deck, because I think those 2 are the only ones that you need. One of them is the White Stone of Ancients. When he's sent to the grave, you can special summon a Blue Eyes monster from your deck during the end phase. So you can always send him to the grave by synchro summoning. So summon him, then synchro summon, and then when he's sent to the grave, so at the end phase you get a free Blue Eyes, or you could just discard him for one of your spell cards that need to discard a card, which I'll get into later. And what was that other thing? I don't remember. Oh yeah, the Cards of Continents. I do run 1 copy of it in this deck, so that's another way you can send it to the grave. And then we have 3 Sage with Eyes of Blue. This card is amazing because when he's normal summoned, you can add 1 level light tuner from your deck to your hand, so it instantly gets you a White Stone of Ancients from your deck to your hand, so you continue your combo plays. And also, if you have another copy in your hand, another Sage with Eyes of Blue, his other effect is you can discard them, send 1 effect monster you control to the graveyard on your side of the field, and then special summon a Blue Eyes from the deck. A Blue Eyes card. It doesn't have to be, a Blue Eyes monster, so it doesn't have to be Blue Eyes White Dragon. And then we have 2 Dragon Spirit of Whites. This is an amazing card for backward removal. It doesn't only destroy those cards, it banishes actually. And it kind of sucks that he only has 2,500 attack, but that's okay, I guess, because you mainly use him for his banishing part of the effect. But his other effect, if you guys know, is you can tribute him if your opponent controls a monster, and then special summon a Blue Eyes monster from your hand. Or no, a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand, so it has to be a Blue Eyes White Dragon. So yeah, and then after you banish something, you can always, exceed summon. He is level 8. A lot of these cards in this deck are level 8. And then we have 3 Manju of the 10,000 Hands. This card is amazing. It helps you, when he's normal summon, you can add a ritual monster or ritual spell from your deck to your hand. So you summon him, instantly get a Blue Eyes Chaos Max or one of the Advanced Ritual Arts or the Chaos Form. So if you already have one ritual spell in your hand, or you have a ritual monster, summon him and you get the other piece, and bam. There you go, Blue Eyes Chaos Max on the field. And I do run 2 King of the Swamps because I do run polymerizations in this deck. And he's really good because you can always, if you don't need him, you can just discard him to add a polymerization from your deck to your hand, so you can thin out your deck. And I am playing a 40 card deck, guys, so keep that in mind. And also, he is treated as any fusion material too, but the other ones have to be the correct ones. So that's it for the monsters. Next, let me move these aside. Next, we have your spell cards, and I don't run any traps at all in this deck. So Triple Trade-In, a very generic card for any deck that utilizes a lot of level 8 monsters. You discard a level 8 monster and then draw 2 cards. It's that simple. It can help you discard your Blue Eyes. Your alternative is your Blue Eyes Chaos Max. If you're that desperate, you can discard your Blue Eyes Chaos Max and your alternatives. But more often, you want to discard your Blue Eyes White Dragons and your Dragon Spirit of Whites. Those are the ones you want to discard. And then, of course, for ritual spells, we have 2 Chaos Form. This is a really good card because after you search it off or just draw it, you activate it, send a level 8 monster from your hand or field to the graveyard, and then ritual summon your Blue Eyes Chaos Max. Or you can banish your Blue Eyes from the graveyard to just ritual summon your Blue Eyes Chaos Max. And 2 Advanced Ritual Art. I think having 2 copies of Chaos Form and 2 copies of Advanced Ritual Art is the perfect, not the perfect, but it seems like it's the ratio that works for me. Oh, it's a little bit off camera, sorry guys. So yeah, activate Advanced Ritual Art, you have to send a normal monster from your deck to the graveyard, then you can ritual summon Blue Eyes Chaos Max. So 2 of those, 2 of each. And then we have Triple the Melody of Awakening Dragon. This card is amazing. This is basically your search card for the deck. You discard 1 card, which again you can discard your Whitestone of Ancients or your Dragon Spirit of White, because you don't want Dragon Spirit of White in your hand unless if it's for discarding for draw cards. So what he does, discard a card, then add up to 2 dragon type monsters with 3,000 or more attack and 2,500 or less defense. So basically he can search out your Blue Eyes White Dragons, your Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragons, and your Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragons. So he is really good. He can't search Dragon Spirit of White since he does not have 3,000 or more attack. So that kind of sucks, but that's okay. And again, generic card, return other Dragon Lords. We run 3 copies because this card is just amazing in any deck that uses level 7 or 8 Dragon types. Special summon them from the grave for free, and then they have their own protection effect. So if they would ever be destroyed by battle card effect, just banish Return of the Dragon Lords and bam, they're saved. Amazing card. Next, we run 2 Silver's Cry. This deck is more focused on trying to overpower your opponent. So if your monsters ever get sent to the grave for whatever reason, there's always a lot of summoning potential back from the grave with 3 Return of the Dragon Lords and 2 Silver's Cry. Silver's Cry only special summons normal monsters though. So that only includes your Blue Eyes White Dragons and your Dragon Spirit of White, since he is treated as a normal monster while on the field and in the graveyard. Next, for our 1-ups, we have Soul Charge. Really good. Just activate it, special summon as many cards from your graveyard, since this deck will be really powerful with this card. You can summon so many cards with it and then exceed summon later, or just synchro summon. Just keep them on the board. You don't even have to do anything. Just keep them on the board, because 3,000 beat sticks on the field are really hard to get by. So 1 Soul Charge and 1 Cards of Consonance to tutor out your to get rid of your Whitestone of Ancients or your Sage with Eyes of Blue to draw 2 cards, and then we play 2 polymerizations for our fusions. So that is it for spells. No trap cards. That is the 40 card deck. Now into the extra deck, I do want 1 Dragon Master Knight. I will say this card is really hard to summon, extremely hard to summon. This card, you're usually never gonna use this card, but it's just here if you ever have the chance to summon it, just summon it, because this card is amazing. He's 500,000, what am I saying? 5,000 attack, and then he gains 500 attack for each dragon type monster on the field, except this card. So that's already amazing. But he doesn't have any other special effect. Besides that, he's just a really big beast stick. But again, you're not really gonna summon this out. You don't really use your extra deck that often, except for synchro summoning. So yeah, and a little bit of fusion summons. We run 2 Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragons. This is a really good card. You need 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons to fusion summon this card. And if your alternative is on the field, he counts as a Blue Eyes White Dragon. And of course, with King of the Swamp in your hand too, or on the field, it doesn't matter. You can. It's pretty easy to summon your Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. And he does have his own little effects, where if he's the only monster on the field, when he attacks, you can send a fusion monster from your extra deck to the graveyard to attack again. And he can activate this effect, I'm not sure, I think it's 3 times during each battle phase or something like that. But I don't know, but he also has another effect that when he's in the graveyard during other player's turn, if a card effect is activated that targets a Blue Eyes monster or monsters you control, banish this card from the graveyard, negate, and destroy it. So it has its own protection effect too. And of course, 1 Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, the regular one. He's mainly in this deck to you don't really want to summon this card out. You always want to go for Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. He's just here to send to the graveyard for Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate's effect. And then once he's in the graveyard, he is a normal dragon monster, so you can activate Silver's Cry and special summon Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon from the graveyard for free. And then if you're lucky and you have a King of the Swamp in your hand and a Polymerization, then that is the only way you can summon out Dragon Master Knight. That is the only way you can summon out Dragon Master Knight. I will not recommend fusion summoning Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon and then, you know, trying to go for Dragon Master Knight that way, because that's just, it's always better to summon your Neo Blue Eyes. Send your Neo Blue Eyes, your other Neo Blue Eyes to the graveyard first for that protection effect, and then if you're able to attack once again to use this effect, then you send Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon to the graveyard. So that's it. And then for our last fusion, we play 2 Blue Eyes Twin Burst Dragon. This card is amazing. It's really good for it's really good for monsters that can't be destroyed by battle. So if your opponent ever summons Beals on you, the Diabolic Dragons, you know that card where it can't be destroyed by battle, I think it is, or card effects. It's something like that. I don't know. And every time your opponent takes damage, that card's attack increases by the amount that your opponent took, and it's already a 3000 beat stick, so it's pretty hard to get over. But with Blue Eyes Twin Burst Dragon's effect, he can't be destroyed by battle, so that's good. And if this card battle an opponent's monster and that monster is still on the field, you can banish it. So you can banish their Beals, and that's really good. Amazing. And he can attack twice too. And for our synchros, we run 2 Azure Eyes Silver Dragon. I only have the 1, but you want to run 2. You always want to run 2. You're usually going to synchro summon for Azure Eyes Silver Dragon more often than the other synchro monsters, but that also depends on what deck you're facing off against. And during the standby phase, during your standby phase, you special summon a normal monster from your graveyard, so your Blue Eyes White Dragons or your Dragon Spirit or Whites. And then we run 2 Blue Eye Spirit Dragon. This card is really good against decks that have a lot of effects that activate in the graveyard, because this guy stops those effects. It's amazing. Also, his other effect is it's a quick effect. You can tribute Blue Eye Spirit Dragon to special summon another synchro monster from your deck except for Spirit Dragon, so you can special summon Azure Eyes for free. But it is destroyed during the end phase, I think. It is destroyed, I don't know when, I think it's during the end phase. Yeah, but destroyed during the end phase of this turn, so you have to be mindful. And then for our Xyz monsters, we have 1 Divine Dragon Knight to negate your opponent's monster's effects. That's pretty much why you use them. 1 Heretic Sun Dragon Overlord of Heliopolis, you know, for his removal effect. Detach, then send cards from your hand or field to the graveyard to destroy up to that many cards on your opponent's side of the field, so that's really good. And then the 1 number 38 Hope Harbinger Dragon Titanic Galaxy to stop your opponent from activating his spell cards. And that is it for my extra deck. You can always add in the Galaxy engine, which I do not add because I prefer Galaxies being in the Galaxy. That's just how I roll. That's just how I play. But you can 100% play the Galaxy engine in here. You can add in number 62 Galaxy Ash Prime Photon, so you can get a monster that'll go over 4,000 attack if there's a monster on your opponent's side of the field with that high attack power. Or you can overlay that too for Galaxy 4 Armor Photon Dragon, pop 1 card on the field, and he's a 4,000 attack beater too. So that's really good. And this is my Blue Eyes White Dragon deck. So thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.